Hello everybody, welcome back to the stream. How are you doing? I think we're going to be starting a new game today. I'm going to ditch Alchemortis. No, I'm kidding, of course. I'm not ditching Alchemortis. That's not happening, for sure. Anyway. What? I don't know. Do I want to do these ads? I'm kind of getting sick. I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing the ads. I'm kind of getting sick of doing them, but probably should do it. Alchemortis is available for wish listing. It's the first link in the description below. That's the game we're going to be working on today. I also have a Patreon where you could join up and help me out financially, support the development of the game, but also you get some cool perks. Like if you subscribe to the sponsor tier, you will get in-game Alchemortis credits when it launches. So you only need to subscribe to this for 1 month to get this, but of course I appreciate it if you stay subscribed to it. That helps me out a lot. I can pay the musician, I can pay for marketing, all that good stuff. So it definitely helps actually fund the development of the game. But if you want to just subscribe for 1 month, you're going to get that perk. Also unlimited course access while you're subscribed as well. So if you've been interested in taking my courses, that's a great option. Or you can individually buy the courses from Udemy. Udemy regularly runs sales. For instance, it's showing me a sale right now, but your mileage may vary. I think it kind of personalizes the sales to some extent, but all my courses are linked in the description below as well if you'd just like to buy one of those. Again, this helps me out a lot, helps me pay the bills and all that good stuff. And if you don't want to financially support, that's totally fine. Again, you can wishlist Alchemortis, that helps a ton. You could like the video, subscribe to the channel. You can join the Discord, which is linked in the description below, and all that stuff helps. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead. Hello, Edo Makes Games, welcome back. Tooltips are fun, yes. Hello, V, welcome, and also welcome back, Asymmetrics, good morning to you. RN Genesis, hello, hello. Will you still support my game if it's girly? Well, define support. It might shock you to know that I'm not into girly games. Hello, Emerson. Wait, you're a girl? I'm an entity of chaos. Hello, Cody. Welcome, welcome. Hello, JKHE. Welcome back. Would you dare do that? Let's cancel him on Reddit again. I know. Did you guys like the Reddit thread? I feel like the brutality went down a lot after I posted, because I think people realized, oh wait, this is an actual person. We shouldn't say that this is well, I'm not going to repeat some of the things, but I don't know what that means, but welcome Vicious the End. Good to see you. That's all you can do. Yep. Okay, so somebody in the Discord, I already forgot, I think it was Yeet, maybe? I don't remember, suggested, so been working on this Tooltips saga, just for context, trying to get the game to a state where you can easily understand what your board is doing and what the enemy board is doing without having to click in and out of the inspector all the time. So the form that's taken is this little tooltip that appears in the middle here. And I've got it working so that if you hover over a card that has, several lines, it scrolls. So I can just use the mouse wheel on this card and that scrolls the tooltip for me. And then as I hover around these things, it shows the tooltip for that specific thing. But this is an abbreviated tooltip, so it's not going to show any debuffs or buffs that are on the card, because that's going to be only relevant during combat. And it's also not going to show, well, it probably needs to show the enchants and whatnot, so I still got to add some stuff to this, but yeah, it's going to be abbreviated, but there's an opportunity to abbreviate it even further. So I think what I'm going to have to introduce is the concept of a short description. So these are the full descriptions, right? This is the same description that you'll see if I click into this and actually read this, right? Which is fine, because when you've got this big window, you probably want more details, right? But in here, I think there's an opportunity to do a short description, which instead of saying apply 5 fire or apply 10 preserve, what it can do is just have 5 and then the fire icon, right? And then 10 and then the shield icon, and then 3 and then the poison icon. And even that first line applies one of the following effects at random. That can probably be shortened as well. So I think there's an opportunity to do that, but I'm going to have to introduce that a framework for doing that. So yeah, I don't know what form that's going to take, but we're going to figure it out, I suppose. Yeah, we're going to have to figure that out. But that's kind of what this stream is going to be focused on, is just experimenting with abbreviating that. All right, so hello, Sir Wizard. I'm currently on one of your courses on Udemy, and I love it, although sometimes I can't quite keep up. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. A wife. How would you go about learning Godot, especially GDScript? I don't know. Okay, so how would you go about learning Godot, especially GDScript? It's easier than C#, though, so I'm not having that much of an issue. Yeah, my sort of classic advice I'd always go back to is that you should use some tutorials. You should read the documentation to figure out just dip your toes into GDScript, I guess you could say. But really what you need to do is you kind of have to give yourself a challenge, right? So once you've done a little bit of tutorials and everything, you might give yourself the challenge, okay, can I create a player scene that can move in response to keyboard input? And try to do that by yourself without reading or without following a tutorial explicitly. I would say you can read the documentation, you can maybe look at code snippets to understand how the syntax works, but give yourself a challenge. Try to recreate some basic player movement, minimally using tutorials and other resources. And you're going to probably get stuck, especially if you're a beginner. You're probably going to get stuck on one line or another, but that's part of the learning process. Like, you need to embrace getting stuck on those things and working through those things, because that's when you really internalize how the code is working and the reasons why you got stuck. At least in my experience, that's how you actually learn. If you're just rote copying something else that somebody else is writing, that can be helpful, but I don't think it's going to be as effective as trying to go out on a limb and do things yourself. So that's my advice. Finally uploaded the first devlog for my game. After 3 days, it has 200 views. Wow! 12 likes and plus 8 subs. Also, I found a composer for my game because of the channel trailer and devlog, so it's definitely worth. That's great. Congratulations, Ito. Can we get claps in the chat for Ito Makes Games? 200 views on the first devlog is very good. Yeah, congrats indeed. Let's get claps in the chat for Ito Makes Games if we can. Maybe can I send one? Oh well. I don't know how to. Let's see. Oh. Bam. There we go. All right. So yeah, let's do this shortened description. Oh, we're gonna close that. Thank you, everybody. All right, so what am I doing? I think a good place to start is looking at this composed ability. Well, we've got this ability configuration. Public func string short description func. So we've got the short description functionality. Let's go to the grimoire. I'm going to remove this. So we'll go to the grimoire. So in here, we've got this bleed ability, poison ability. So let's go into poison here. Let's do this. Short description func is equal to this. And then we're going to want to convert that to... I probably want a function that can take this tag and turn it into an icon. Where is this being called? Card inspector, get description, configure for ability, highlight keywords, get description. So what I might want to do is do an export here. Private bool, use short description. Okay. If use short description, let's do this. If not use short description, well, what? Anyway. So base composed ability get description, public string get short description. I don't really know what this exclude prefix is. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's do this. Base composed ability. Oh wait, it's already here. Protected virtual. Well, we'll just do protected string get short description here. Actually, do I want to make that? Maybe I'll just make that public. Public string get short description. Let's put it up here. Oh, this does need to be, okay, this does need to change actually. Public abstract string get short description. Let's do virtual. Oh, this is a mess. Okay, return null. And then in my composed ability here, public protect or public override string get short description. Func string short description func. Okay, return short description func. Okay, that should work. Okay, so in the ability label, if use short description is equal to base composed ability dot get short description. Highlight keywords. So instead of highlight keywords in here, ultimately what I want to do is in my ability label here, what I want to do is have this rich text label, image / image. Let's find the poison icon. Here we go. Copy UID, put that in there. So that's what I want. Is that going to increase? Looks like it increases the line length, which is unfortunate, but that's all right. So I think in here, what I'll do is I'll do private const string poison. Let's do icon poison UID. Okay, we'll just do that. And then highlight keywords. This is doing a replacement. Game constants, create color, BB code. So here I'm going to change this to a tuple actually. This is going to be a color and a string. Change that to null, null, null. This is where Copilot is like super helpful. Okay. So now in here, highlight keywords. String text of bool use icon equals false. Outvar. Let's rename this to tuple. Okay. Var got value is equal to keyword colors try get value. Okay. If not got value, return match dot value. Otherwise, what we're gonna do is, oops, if use icon and not string is null or empty tuple dot item 2, we are going to return, get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that. Return that. Otherwise, we're going to return game constants, create color BB code, tuple.item1, and we get rid of this. Oh, here. Okay. Okay, so that should work. What is this doing? Not all code paths return a... Oh, do I need to return this? I need to return that. Cool. All right, so that should work. Let's see. I thought it would finish your course first and then work on my own project. Saw that you used Obsidian and it looked awesome. How you managed your time and goals. Could you do a video about it? I mean, it's, yeah, I don't think it's really worthy of a video because it's not that sophisticated. I just basically maintain lists of everything that I want to do, and then I prioritize a handful of things that I know I want to do next. So if you look at my Obsidian board here, so I've got my in progress, which is the things that I'm currently working on and need to finish, and then my to-do list is all the things that I know I want to do next, and then I have a backlog with all the stuff that needs to be done eventually, but is not a priority right now. And that's basically it. And in terms of like time management, I don't really give myself timelines on each individual thing, but I will reprioritize regularly if I need to, if it's not, you know, if I don't need to do some stuff. Because like with game development, like things change all the time. Somebody might leave a piece of feedback in the Discord where I'm like, that's a good idea. And so I suddenly prioritize that thing over something else that I was going to do. So I don't know if it's really video worthy because it's not, it's very like haphazard, you know, very basic. Hello, Rin. Good morning, Zeki. All right. Thank you, Snupbill, for the 20,000 IDR. Very much appreciate that. As always, with the message Yummers. Good morning to you, Snupbill, and thank you again. That's very generous. Yummers, yummers, yummers. I've been coding for longer just about anything else in my life, and I still struggle to read regex. Oh, they have a new system for doing regex, which is really interesting. It's called ChatGPT. So you don't need to know it because you just say, "Hey, ChatGPT, I need a regex that does X, Y, and Z," and it does it for you. Yeah, it's like alien language for sure. I am good at writing very basic regexes, but not very sophisticated ones. Like if you want to look at something really fun, it looks like some inscriptions they pulled off the ship at Roswell. You just ask, or go Google a regex for identifying an email address, and it's like 128 characters long with all these symbols everywhere. It's nuts. Tooltips are so fun. Yeah. Good morning, Ariane. Welcome. Used to have a huge regex chart on the wall by my desk for quick reference. Mortal enemy. I would have thought, okay. I won't use it. Hello, Blair William. Welcome. Finished your jam entry. Congratulations. Yeah, you could feel free to share that in the Discord if you, a link to that in the Discord if you want, Monkey Software. What am I doing? Oh, right. So now I need to go back to my ability builder here. Short description, funk, poison. So now what I need to do is my ability label here. This is going to be highlight keywords, replace with icon. Okay, so now let's build. And then when I go to my card tooltip, this one here, these here are going to be using the short description. So we'll mark that as use short description. And then let's go ahead and run the game and see what happens. It didn't work. Why didn't that work? Let's put a breakpoint there and see. Let's put a breakpoint there and see. Oh, it's just not even, it's not even getting into that. Use. Put a breakpoint in here. I guess it's not getting into this breakpoint for some reason. Why would that be the case? Okay, so that is working. Highlight keywords true. Let's step into this. Oh, if string is null or empty text. Oh, so this short description, get short description, return null. Did I not override this? Oh, no, it is overridden. It's not getting into this function for some reason. Why is that the case? Ability configuration, short description func. Why is that not working? No, it is doing that. So is this just returning null? Why is this? Hold on. View debug console. Null. Now what in the world? Why is that returning null? Let's take a look at this abilities. Short description func is not null. What am I doing wrong? It's not null, but when it gets called, it's not working. Why is that the case? Why is that the case? It's getting into here, but it's returning null. Oh, wait a minute. Right, I know why. I know why. This grimoire, these abilities are all being wrapped into a different composed ability. So this actually needs its own short description func. That's why. Okay. Oops. Okay, just to test, I'm just going to do this. Might as well just do poison ability, get short description. Okay. I'll have to take a look at the game, Monkey Software. Yeah, it's in Firebelly server. Do you have milestones set for your project? Kind of. Not really. I mean, big milestone, and it's like, yeah, launch the game next year, Q1. So that gives me October, November, December, January, February, maybe March. So I got some time, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hello, Shirley. Thank you for the $10 super chat. That's very generous. Always great to have you here. Good morning, good morning. And thank you again. Feeling mad stupid that I didn't know you could manually add breakpoints, yeah. Hello, Sam Studio. We love a supportive community. Yes, yeah. All right, so let's see. Boom. Why isn't this working? It's still not working. All right, back to debugging, I guess. Goodness gracious. This should return something now, though, right? Yeah, 3 poison. Okay, so that works. So that's fine. Highlight keywords. Can I just do... Oops. What happens if I just do this? That is working. Oh, it's overriding the... Okay. Else. So let's do this. Var set text is equal to set. Actually, we'll just do this. If not set short text, we're going to set it there. Okay. I guess my basic logic skills are failing today. That's all right. Missed the end of yesterday's stream. How did the maggot turn out? Oh, the maggot turned out pretty good, I think. Here's the maggot. I think it looks all right. It doesn't look so much like a croissant anymore. All right, there we go. Grimoire now shows 3 poison. I'm kind of curious, what happens if I do this? Let me look it up. Do you see this? Look at this. Every time I open a private window and do a Google search, it wants me to do the I'm not a robot check. That's so annoying. Okay, width x height. So if I do... Let's see. Image equals width x height. Okay. I'm just going to do something like 6 by 6. I'm curious to see if that's going to do anything. What I want to do is I want to show the full icon, but without increasing the line length, because that's going to look weird. But I'm hoping this doesn't like cut it off. Oh, it shrinks it. It shrinks it. Okay, that's not good. That's not good. I wish I could just put an image in there without it affecting the line height, but let's just keep working on the short description, I guess. So in here, in the grimoire, we're going to do this. Apply at random. Let's copy all these. Oops. Copy all these, put those here. Get short description. Okay. Now I'm going to need to, in my description utils, where is that? Here. Going to need to add more icons. Private const string icon shield UID. Private const string icon bleed UID. Private const string icon fire UID. Okay. Copy that UID, paste it there. Copy that UID, paste it there. Okay, let's see what that does. Any plans to approach publishers about the game? Could help promote port localize? Yeah, I have been. Actually, I can tell you this morning, right before the stream started, I actually did have a video call with a publisher. So I don't know if I'm going to do a publisher or not, but I think it's an option that I want to consider. So we will see. We will see. Now, why is this not working again? I understand why these aren't working because I have to add the short description to those, but I don't know why the poison is not working all of a sudden. Didn't finish last stream. I assume the tooltip is 100% finalized and bug-free by now. Nope. I actually had to change a bunch of my mouse handling events because it's kind of weird. So let me show you something. There's a little bit of a detour, but it's kind of interesting. It's kind of an interesting problem. So if I make this a reference rect, and I do editor only equals false. So the way that my mouse input handling is done with the cards is kind of janky, but it works. So when I create a card, I create cell-sized control nodes over each of the cells the card occupies. And those control nodes are actually what handle the mouse enter and leave events. However, the problem is, since these are all three separate controls, they have mouse enter and mouse exit signals, even when you're moving the mouse within the boundaries of a card, right? So if I move from this one to this one, I will get a mouse exit signal and then a mouse entered signal, but it's on the same card. So what I had to do is I had to actually come up with a different system of handling mouse enter, mouse exit as a group. And so what I actually ended up doing is I used a stack. So I push mouse event entered, push mouse event exited on the stack, and then in a deferred fashion, I will actually check in this deferred hover check, basically, if the stack indicates that the mouse entered a control node that is the same or under the card, then it doesn't emit a signal. Otherwise, it will emit the exited and entered signals. And the reason I needed to do that is because what was happening is that this tooltip was being regenerated when I moved the mouse within the confines of the same card, which wasn't really noticeable. It was just doing useless tree rebuilding. But the problem was when I was scrolling. So when I had the grimoire with a scroll bar, if I scrolled down on the grimoire and then moved my mouse over to a different cell, it would rebuild it and reset the scroll to the top. And that was like really annoying. So I had to rebuild the whole, not the whole thing, but I had to change how I'm handling the mouse entered, mouse exited signals for that, which was a little bit annoying. And that was, there's a couple of consequences of doing that. Like I had to fix a bunch of bugs related to mouse enter and exit being fired when you're dragging a card too. Anyway, it was a whole thing. Work on my game is going slow but steady. Seeing UI shenanigans makes me feel like the worst is ahead of me. Oh yeah, it is. The worst is definitely ahead of you. Hello, Jack Case. I lost a bit of momentum on my own Godot project, but I've implemented the very basics of both major systems. Spent some time learning about file system access with GDScript. Maybe it's time to circle back to some polish art tasks to make things less painful to look at for myself. That's what I like to do too. If I do too much UI, I'll just go and do very art heavy week or something. There's a way to port without a publisher, W4 Games. Yeah, so if I were to work with a publisher, I think it would mostly be for marketing, localization, and maybe some funding. But porting and everything, I think, I mean, it depends, right? If I sign up with a publisher and I like working with them, I may do the porting through them. And it's possible that, we could work together to use W4 Games for the porting. But do you have plans to port this to mobile? How are those going to work? If you do, yeah, mobile doesn't have any hover states, so yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I'm not going to worry about that right now. All hail the Mac. Hello, Ignosum, welcome back. Might be because VPN. I'm not using a VPN right now. I don't use a VPN when I am doing normal stuff. Only when I'm doing very super secret sensitive things. I'm a bot. I get that a lot in incognito. It's doing that for me too in incognito. Yeah, I don't know. I thought Google had all of my data and could tell that the same IP address is accessing Google, but oh well. Are you sure you're not a robot? The Ant ruined that card for me. Saw that Reddit thread about Gunforge yesterday. It took them a while to realize your devlogs are public. They were speculating so hard. Yeah. Well, it was funny. They initially thought that the person that posted the thread was shamelessly like self-promoting their own game. And it's just kind of funny. I don't know. Don't mean to nitpick, but I'd quickly annoy me to move my eyes back and forth between the inventory and the tooltip in the middle. No, you don't want to cover up stuff, but maybe put the tooltip at the position of the cursor, like attached to the cursor in the lower right. Yeah, but the problem is that's going to cover the board. I mean, I could do an option like if you're holding a modifier key, it follows the mouse. But one thing at a time. I think that the tooltip in the middle is better, but we'll continue refining it. Yeah, I don't want to overlay the board. Yeah. Hello, Mun. Welcome back. I guess I just disagree with that. Imagine being sick. I don't have to. Oh, sorry, the Ant. Feel the tooltip should be where the mouse is. Anyone will play Aethermancer. It's janky, but it works. Could define every program I've ever written, really. Yeah, that's true. I'm going to undo what I did here. If his code is janky, I don't know what mine should be called. Never ceased to amaze me how much money can be made from stuff put together using duct tape and chewing gum. My experience is that janky but works is all of programming and you can't change my mind. Yeah, basically. Could you have used an Area 2D with a collision polygon? No, because of the way that input handling works. The inputs for areas are handled last, which means that if I have any UI like my inventory here, which is supposed to stop mouse events, those mouse events will never get propagated to the area 2Ds. So it's a consequence of how this is a very UI heavy game. It just doesn't work. My initial approach was to use an Area 2D with multiple collision shapes, but Yeah, if you look at the life cycle for how events are propagated through the tree, those actually happen last, which is, it just makes it impossible to make that work nicely with other UI mouse events that need to happen. Standard for mobile is long tap for tooltip. Speaking of hover states and multiple squares per item, surely neither will make the gamepad controls hard to implement later on. I think, well, a hover state for gamepad would just be like you can select the card, right? So like you use the D-pad or whatever to navigate to each card, and while you're hovered over it, it will like while you have it selected, it will act like a hover state, right? I've been thinking about tap versus hold for hover on mobile. I haven't looked into Godot's implementation. I would probably have to roll my own solution for that, which wouldn't be that hard, but would you be willing to do a tutorial on that grid system? Would work great as an RE4 style inventory. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I should. It would be a good tutorial, that's for sure, but... Saw mods think the thread was self-promo, yeah. Covering the board isn't so bad if you're not actively in combat, I think. That's the point of inspecting, right? Battle prep. Well, again, like, if I have this, you see how it highlights the cells that it affects when I hover over it? If I've got a tooltip at the bottom right of the mouse, it's going to cover one or maybe two of those cells. But this gets even more complicated with something like Swarm, which highlights the entire board, right? So anyway, it's a tricky problem. I don't think there's an easy solution, which is why I haven't just thrown a tooltip on. But anyway. Oh, that is working. Oh, it is working. Okay. Anyway. We have to get rid of this. 6x6. Okay, so now I need to go and do this. Ability builder. Okay, let's see if that works. Could draw a thin line between the cursor and the tooltip. Maybe. Oh, I forgot to update my descriptions. Okay, so this is fire damage. Icon fire UID. Oh, I don't have any I need a healing icon, I guess. Echo, exhaust, project, damage. Oh, I don't have the icon damage. Oops. This is going to be a nightmare. Maggot made it in lore. It's definitely a maggot. I don't remember what the lore text is. Let's see. Wherever flesh rots, maggots abound. That's the that's the text. Pretty metal, if you ask me. How big? I don't know what the line height is for these things. It looks like it's increasing the line height by like a couple of pixels. So what I might need to do... let's do this. Assets, UI, status. I almost wonder if I should, well, let's just try it with bleed here. If I remove the outlines from bleed, is that going to be better? Okay, so if I don't use an outline, it doesn't change the line height. Okay. So that's good. Let me just do this. Goodness. Can probably keep this in there. Copy this UID. Copy this UID. Copy this UID. Okay. Let's see what this does. All right. Grimoire. Okay, that looks a little bit better. And that short description could even be condensed a little bit more, I think. This is all just like experimentation, but... TF2 Soldier Boy, see maggot. Maybe you could reference the idea that maggots were thought to appear from rotting meat. That's what I thought, but... obvious before humanity knew maggots were bug larvae. As the only soldier in this group, I think I'm the only one hearing Ermi is a drill sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, yelling at the privates and calling them maggots as we talk about this. Yeah. Lore reference text has to be the best thing about game development. It's very fun, yeah. Are you going to impose a time limit before starting the battle? No, I'm not. You have as much time as you need to get your board in order before it starts. So I'm almost thinking... So these ability builders, there shouldn't be a space here, probably. Oops, did I change too much? I feel like the color text was easier to read. Well, this is, I mean, it still exists. So if you want to go into the inspector and read it, I'm just trying to save a bunch of space in the tooltip here. Let me get the damage in place too. Resource file not found. I don't know where that's coming from. Okay. Damage no outline, copy UID. I don't know where those errors are coming from. Removing 1 pixel from all status icons seems like the move. Yeah, I think it's working. I uploaded one relatively successful short, 9K views. Oh, wow. That's great. Congratulations, Wooius. 1 pixel all around, so up to 4. Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's breaking here for some reason. Resource file not found. Expected type texture 2D. What? Card tooltip 60. I don't know what's happening. What? I don't know why that error is happening. I don't know. Let's just restart. Too bad a certain someone gave up on shorts. I just don't have any shorts content. Fitting them with blue grid outline included. Yeah. Does Godot text not provide a way to prevent automatic line height changes? Not with images, I don't think. I've been thinking about Full Metal Jacket since the maggot was mentioned. Do you use tweens for sprite animation? Yeah, I do, yeah. And animation player. I served 12 years in the German Armed Forces. Very nice. Here's a tooltip. The song Schism has both 5/8 and 7/8 time signatures. All right. Once again, it's time for game dev. Welcome, Jackie Daytona. The joke is always on me. Instead of a number and icon text, maybe you can almost do like a button constructor. The damage and icon are on their own little container and don't need commas. Is he complaining about the empty image and the default text content, maybe? Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot to remove this. Good call. Thank you, Aaron. What do you mean you don't have content? I just don't I don't know what to put in shorts content. Okay, anyway. Thank you for that, Aaron. Okay, so now let's do a damage. I still don't know if this is working, but debug. Let's see. You can definitely make a short series explaining each card and artifact. Oh, yeah. Gotta get your annoying YouTuber voice, though. Let me try some alignment stuff here. How do I change the V alignment? Center, top, bottom. Oh, I was just going to test it here. None of those things work. Top, bottom. What in the heck? Top, center, baseline, and bottom. Okay, so none of those make a difference at all, I guess. Okay, so I need to provide two placements, top, bottom, bottom, top, top. What in the heck? Okay, so I guess I can't really align that properly. Let's try center, center. I don't know. I don't think that does anything. One new card equals one new short. What about the obsidian thing? If it's too basic for a full video, maybe a short would be good. Yeah, that could work. I don't know if this is working. I don't know if this is working. The icons are kind of cool, but I don't know. Do we like the direction this is going or no? Do we like the direction? A Full Metal Jacket, yeah. You could do hair routine shorts. My hair routine is not sophisticated. It's not anything really. Do you do game dev full-time or something else full-time? No, I do this full-time, yeah. Welcome Shaba's Tunes, by the way. Placement seems kind of off. Can't sit below the inventory icon. Can't it sit below the inventory icon? I don't know what inventory icon you're referring to. I mean, I agree the placement of the icon seems off, but I can't control it. It doesn't give me control. Good short content is just like good long form, but shorter, and loops are cool. There's a bunch of slimy stuff involved with shorts, like saying weird provocative stuff to get engagement. Yeah, I don't like shorts at all. Gotta get that bag somehow. Cheat vertical alignment by drawing one black pixel below the icon, that way you force align it. That's gonna make the line height taller though. I don't know if I can do that. Your icons are kind of small. I think the only one that I can tell what it is the poison. Well, you have to keep in mind that this is a stream too. I think it looks pretty good on the, like, just in the game on my screen. But maybe not. Icons greater than no icons. I like the text better, I must admit, just as short as possible. Gotta find the style that works. Why not bring out the full description on hover instead of duplicating? Well, the reason I'm doing this short stuff is to remove the full description from this tooltip. Think of when you hover over the inventory cards, it shouldn't show the info in the center of the screen. I think the icon should also be next to the words in the full tooltip. Talking about the pop-up in general. Agree about icons in the full version. Hello, Dusty. Welcome back. Good to see you, as always. In full screen, it's easier to see what they are. Yeah, I think the icons are reasonably sized. I think they're okay. Well, let's see. I don't think it should be that hard to... I don't think it should be that hard to support icons in the full description. Let's see. I can't do tuples like that. Oh, wait. I can, I think. Tuple. There we go. Oh, that doesn't work? Oh, tuple.color. Oh, there we go. Okay. Cool. Not string dot is null or empty tuple icon UID. Image. Let's see what that does. Steam is after my wallet. Oh, I gotta do this everywhere. Let's do this. That should fix that, and then I don't need to do this. All right, let's see what happens. You can replace tiny images with a keyboard that's underscored and then put all the relevant images next to the card like a buff debuff bar. The icons look pretty good in the full description. I think this is still... I think the sword icon is a little bit too big. But I don't think it's increasing the line height at all. Also, it'd be nice if you use these icons as something like a summary of a board showing how much damage in total it can do. Yeah, maybe DPS calculation based on the cards on the board. Next to the tooltip, put all the relevant images next to the card like a buff debuff bar. Yeah. It's a lot of effort to inspect all enemy cards one by one. These icons you're adding in the tooltips, you could experiment with adding them directly on the card, like in the top right corner or something, so even without a hover you could know. Yeah, the problem is like what happens with this card which has 4 status effects. I'm just gonna clutter up the card, and that won't work if it's a 1-by-1 card either, because we have to keep in mind too that the alchemy system is a thing. So if I have a card that has 5 different abilities on it and it's 1-by-1, it's been alchemized, there's no room for all of those icons, right? The icons in the full description, you like those? And then it makes the quick glance more obvious too. Yeah, I think that's good. I just don't know about the short description here. Nobody likes the fact that the tooltip is in the center of the screen. Nobody likes it. Okay, well, tell you what, here's what we'll do. We'll try a more traditional tooltip. If everyone wants a more traditional tooltip, then we can do that. Oh, that looks good. Apply 1 poison, double the poison applied if an adjacent card also applies poison. I do like the icons. That looks great. So here's what I'm going to do. Let's experiment with making the tooltip on mouse hover. And I think what I need to do in order to make it not obscure the board is there could be like a toggle maybe where you can turn on and off the functionality to show tooltips on hover so that you could still see the board. Or maybe there's a modifier key that you can press to temporarily, or like while the key is pressed, hide the tooltip if you need to see the board. I don't know. Let's just make the tooltip follow the mouse, and we will see how that feels and go from there. I still probably do want the short description. What I'd probably do is like, this is the short description. I'd probably put like a little icon at the bottom that's like full details, you know, like left click for full details. So let's experiment with that. I think all these changes are good. especially the full description icons. So I'll keep all those. Even if we end up ditching the short description stuff, I think those icons are useful. So all this code that I wrote is actually useful. Okay, so experiment. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get it working. I'm revisiting your course, 2D Arena Survival Roguelike game, after some months of not touching Godot. Participating in a game jam, always forget about theming and UI stuff. Yeah, theming is somewhat complicated. I already did try that one. I don't like how long it is, but maybe we can go back to that. Means you got to do it center of the screen. What are the possible spots for the tooltip? Basically, that's it, the center of the screen. Or the mouse. Maybe just closer to the panel. The problem is that the player board can grow in size. I'd put it down where the battle log is, but hide the battle log. Yeah, I mean, you're still going to end up with the problem of like one of the reasons people don't like the center screen is because you have to move your eyes quite far, and that's only going to be exacerbated, especially for enemy boards, right? So if I do this, but then the tooltip appears where the combat log is, I got to look at the opposite end of the screen. So we're going to try it with a more traditional tooltip, and maybe you can add alpha to the back of the tooltip so everything's not hidden under. I cannot do alpha, no. That is against the rules. Maybe center of the screen if you're hovering the board, and with the mouse if you're in the inventory. I think it's Baldur's Gate 3 where you can right-click to inspect and other for full details. Yeah, you can press like T or something by default in Baldur's Gate 3 to like pin a tooltip, and then you can like drill down into the tooltip from there. The player board is a grower, not a shower. All right. Okay. Give me just 3 minutes. I'll be right back, and we're going to transform this into a mouse following tooltip, much to my chagrin. I think it could work. I think I might have to... We'll find a way to make it work. We'll see. Anyway, I'll be right back in just 3 minutes, and we will continue on. All right, hello everybody. Your favorite niche e-celeb is back again. All right, well, the good news is that the card tooltip should be relatively easy to make follow the mouse. I think. So this is card tooltip here. There's this margin container here. So I'm going to need to change this type to a regular old control, I think. And the mouse here. This recursive stuff, this is another half-baked Godot feature. It's good in theory, but I just can't get it to work the way I want it to work. Anyway, we're going to change this. I didn't mean to center the pivot offset. That's okay. Change this. This margin container here. Get rid of that. Shrink this up. Okay. So this is a control node now. Alrighty. So public override void process, which gets shortened to PES for some reason when I do the autocomplete. So clear, we're going to do this. Clear is going to do this. Set process false. Show tooltip, set process true. Then we're going to do a private void update tooltip position. Okay, so update tooltip position. I think I'm doing this in a couple of places. Update tooltip position. Oh, I already have this control extensions. Oh, very nice. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do margin container.update tooltip position. That should basically work. And then we'll just call it in here. Actually, I don't even need to do that much. I can just put this in here. I don't need this extra function call. All right. Let's see what happens. I'm going to need to add a more sophisticated border around it too. So we'll do that in a second. It's also too long, so we're going to need to fix that. Why is that too long? Do I have a custom minimum size on, or a custom, yeah. Custom minimum size, nope. This scroll container, does this have a custom minimum size? So this, right, custom minimum size. How am I going to do this? I think what I need to do is this VBox container. Let's do this. Private const int max height is 128. Node private control content container. We're going to do this. Update minimum size. Private void update. Wait, is this already a function? What? Update scroll minimum size. Update scroll minimum size. Okay. Scroll container dot custom minimum size is equal to new vector 2 0 mathf dot min max height. This is going to be the content container dot size dot y, and then I think that should work. I don't know. Let's find out. UI stuff is very janky. All right, so Nicey Celeb or Nishi Celeb? The mind wanders and wonders. It's gonna have fun reading that. This game is really 90% UI. I know, it's so bad. Okay, so we've got a hover tooltip here. We're gonna need to add some more borders on it, but are you guys happy now? Does this look better? Now let's see what happens. I still want to see what happens if it has to scroll, because I haven't really tested that. Ah! Get away. The most powerful grimoire in all of history. Gonna go, have some sweating to do. Have a good day. All right, thanks for joining, V. Always good to see you. Have a good day. It's already so much better though. Oh my gosh. Oh, and there's a bug here. Look at all these bugs I have to fix. Anyway. So now I can still scroll with the scroll wheel with the tooltip. It looks weird because they're all the same ability, so you can't really tell how fast it's scrolling, but... It doesn't go off the screen either, that's good. Oh man, this game. Between input management and tooltips. So yeah, it won't go off the screen, you can see. So it's constrained to the viewport, which is good. And it has a max size too, so that if it is exceeding that max size, it will scroll. So there's another thing that I want to try too, which is, so this VBox container, scroll container here. Let's add, let me look at the here. Inspect container. This texture rect. What is this called? Right click. Quick load, left click. Okay, let's see what that looks like. In case of really long tooltips, after much alchemization, you can make the tooltips auto lock after a short period of time, so the player can scroll through it. Oh, you can scroll with the mouse wheel. I mean, I could add like a pin thing too. Actually, this should probably go below. So I'm gonna need a background color. I mean, we like this better though. Yeah, the problem is that, yeah, if I'm hovering over the ceremonial dagger, yeah, I don't like the fact that it's going to obscure the board. Like if I put the maggot here, see how it's gonna obscure these 4 highlights here? I really don't like that. Especially if this is going to like highlight another card. So if I put this here, see how it's highlighting the fact that it's going to trigger off the grimoire? If I'm hovering over this, it's going to obscure the vast majority of it. And if there's another card down here it affects, you're not going to see that. So that's the big problem with the tooltip, is that it obscures this critical information on hover. Why not put tooltip beside the board? That's what I had. Epic streamer, yeah. Clearly that's better. Well, it's better in some ways and it's way worse in others. It's no comparison. Will there be an option to turn off the tooltip? I mean, if I have to do the mouse tooltip, then I think the only thing to do would be to like toggle, like have a setting where players can turn off the tooltip highlighting. Also, what the heck is going on here? This should not have... I think clip content is on. Yeah, get rid of... Oh, it has to clip content. You know what they say about that? Son of a bee. Let's add a margin container. This margin container here. I feel like it'd be nice to keep the item name when scrolling down. Yeah, I can do that. That should be relatively easy. Oh, did I turn off? Something like Shadsia and Tailwind, but for Game UI would be cool. Yeah, it would. Hello, Z Pedro. I'm new to the channel, but I've been really enjoying your content. I think you're a great teacher and recently bought 2 of your courses to support you. Thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. Very much appreciate that. What if the tooltip only appears after hovering for like 2 seconds or something? Well, the whole goal of the tooltip was to make it easier to understand what the player and enemy boards are doing. The main reason the tooltip exists is because it's annoying to have to click in and out of multiple cards like this. And so if you have to wait even like a half a second before the tooltip appears, that's going to get very annoying as well. It kind of defeats the purpose of why the tooltip is here to begin with. I don't like the tooltip. What's wrong with it covering the cell board? There's nothing wrong with it covering the cell board. It's covering the other boards. That's the problem. Hold shift to full read. If you hold spacebar to hide it or something. No one says that? Who says that? Oh, wait, I don't get the reference. Only you say that. Oh, did I say something? Position the tooltip above the mouse and the mouse is on top of the board. I mean, I guess that would be the way to do it, is to try to position the tooltip so that it doesn't hover over a board. Hover over the board. That is an interesting idea. Can I do that? Can I do that? I think it would be easy enough to make sure the tooltip doesn't appear over the board that the card is inside. But the problem is that you can have cards that highlight enemy cards right over here. Now, it's possible that there's enough room where that's it, like this tooltip will never obscure the enemy board. That might be possible. I'm not sure if someone ever asked you this, but why are you preferring C# over GDScript when using Godot? Does it have any upper hand over GDScript? Yeah, it's just personal preference. Yeah, I just like the structure of C# better. There's no other reason besides that I'm using it. Tooltips are not fun, yeah. A key to hide the tooltip could work. Yeah. I mean, I ideally want to make the entire game playable with just a mouse only, which I guess is the case if the tooltip is always shown. Yeah, I guess the game being playable with the mouse only does not preclude the option to use keybinds, I guess. I was going to say if the item in inventory show the cursor tooltip, if in board show center tooltip. I honestly think the original panel worked really well. The covering of the enemy board didn't really affect my playing. Right click to open big inspector. Well, it's left click to open big inspector. But yeah, it's... because right click is the quick move. What are we doing? We are deciding what to do about these G-dang tooltips. Actually, the tooltip can cover the cards that your hovering cards might be affecting. I think the UI starts to become a little confusing. My vote would be to have the logic that prevents the tooltip from appearing over the board and instead it sticks to the side of the board. What if you made it so that the inspection panel or something similar pops up when you hover over a card with the mouse? I mean, the problem is, yeah, the inspection panel could... I mean, this covers stuff for sure. Could there be a button you press that disables the tooltip but still shows the cards it affects? Yeah, I'm thinking that could be a thing. If there's going to be a massive list of items, you may need to move the tooltip's origin to make sure it doesn't get truncated. Yeah, the tooltip is bound to the screen. So if I see how I move down, the tooltip moves down, but once it gets to the bottom of the screen, it stops moving. And then I can scroll it here. They did just add abstract classes to GDScript. Yes, they did. That's very nice. Yeah, I think this is right. If you're going with this method, I think having a background for the tooltip is needed. Yeah. Yeah, background... all the problems that I have with the tooltip are assuming there's a background here. So, like, again, with the maggot, like, if there's a background behind the tooltip, it's going to obscure these 4 cells on the board. Now we need interfaces, yeah. I think traits are coming, right? Am I late? When will the stream end? We're still going to go for a while longer here. Middle button to toggle card description doesn't sound bad at all. C# bros, get the chicks. Yeah. You think walking up to a girl in a bar and saying, you know, GDScript will work? Good luck. Temp hide tooltip button isn't a bad idea. And it could even be a button up here in the UI too, like a little eyeball, like show tooltips on hover that you can toggle. That still accomplishes the goal of the entire game being playable with the mouse while also giving the players some control. And I may even turn that off by default so that new players are not like overwhelmed, you know? So you just like new players will go in and they'll just read the descriptions, but eventually they'll get tired of clicking in and out of everything and they'll be like, what's this button? Boom. Oh, now I got a tooltip, you know? I think that's the way I would do that. I think that's the way that I would do that. Why is the window that shows what the card does look so ugly? Oh, it's a little secret mark. It's a work in progress. No, it's going to be updated. I'm just trying to get a feel for if it's going to work before I put a bunch of effort into making it look nice. Toggle tooltip is nice. Okay, so there's 2 things I want to do. My opening line with any lady is that arrays start at 0. Agree, just think the default should be to show. I like the idea, but I think tooltip should be enabled by default. If there's no keyboard controls, maybe it's going to be a mobile game. Yeah. Okay, so I think there's 2 things to do. 1, try to contextually prevent the tooltip from obscuring the board that the card is on, and then also having a tooltip toggle button. So let's see if I can do that first part. I think it should be relatively easy. So if I go to my card tooltip here, show tooltip for base cards. So private rect to avoidance region. So show tooltip base card. So what I'm going to need to do is var board owner is equal to card.getBoard card dot no, this dot get board manager dot get card board owner card. I'm gonna make this a nullable. So we're gonna get the owner board if board owner, actually let's do this, avoidance region equals null. If board owner is not equal to null, then we're gonna do board owner dot, let's see. So avoidance, let's do this. Var position is equal to board owner dot get global position, or just dot global position. Var size is equal to board owner dot board inventory component dot dimensions times game constants dot tile size. Avoidance region is equal to rect2 position size. Okay, so now when I do the update tooltip position, I'm going to want to, should I pass? Rect2 avoidance region is equal to null. If avoidance region is not equal to null, region is equal to avoidance region dot value. If region dot intersects control dot get global rect. I actually don't know what to do here, so let's do this. I'm gonna tell ChatGPT to do it for me. Okay. This block of code in Godot C# should do the following. If avoidance region is supplied and the region intersects with the controls region, then the control should be positioned such that its region will not overlap the avoidance region and not go outside the screen. Let's see if ChatGPT does it. Oh, wait. No, stop. Stop. How do I stop it? Oh, it stopped. Okay. We're going to make it agent mode. Agent mode. Okay. Now we're going to wait for ChatGPT to do its thing. I'm using C# and it's not working. What isn't working? What if the tooltip text was rainbow and wavy? Yeah, I might as well make it Comic Sans too. That's funny. Shakes fist at clouds. Curse you, Lua. How's everyone's day going while ChatGPT is working? Everyone doing okay? You guys are definitely bullying me into doing tooltips. You guys are definitely bullying me into doing tooltips. Okay. Let's see if it works. So the avoidance region now in here, we're gonna pass in this avoidance region there. All right, let's see if ChatGPT did it. Finally accepted that new job offer. Congratulations, Anthony. Can we get claps in the chat for Anthony? Congratulations on the new job. Let's get claps in the chat, everybody. Doing fine, tired from work, gonna chill with some game dev. Nice. Where's my chance? I'm kind of sad I'm unable to submit something to the Godot Wild Jam. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that. Tooltips make or breaks this game because there are so many things to learn and look at and so many cards. Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 on the horizon is a little treat. I wish I could take like 100 hours to play Baldur's Gate 3 again. The worst will be behind you after this. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Next, we're going to bully you into going outside and having a healthy lifestyle. Oh, no. Oh no. Getting really inspired by your work, getting motivation to work on stuff just from watching the streams. Awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Did this work first try? There's a little bit of jankiness here when it detects the intersection and then it shifts over to the right, but that's not terrible. Okay, let's see. Can I ask how you write the logic for your grid cards for like the wrap, for example? I made inventory systems where you can drag and drop things but can't figure out items larger than one cell. Yeah, so I think the trick is you just have to break it down into cards have multiple cells. So you're still dealing ultimately at the end of the day doing one cell by one cell checks. It's just that the card is a group of cells that you have to check together, right? So for example, the scythe here, right? It's a 2x2 card. That's its like bounding box, right? But it has, I'm calling them relative cells. And so 0, 0 is a relative cell, 1, 0 is a relative cell, and 0, 1 is a relative cell, but there's no relative cell here. And then what I do is I use, typically speaking, the top left corner of the card as the root position. So when I'm moving a card around and I want to place it somewhere, I say, okay, the root position is the top left, but when I place it, I need to check all of the relative cell positions to make sure that those positions are not occupied. If any of those positions are occupied by another card, then it needs to be I just noticed a problem with the Skeleton Warrior art. Then it needs to be rejected, right? So it's the same approach as you would take to doing a 1x1 grid cells, but you just have to, like I said, you just have to treat the cards as a group and check all of the cells when you're going to place or move them or whatever. So hopefully that helps. Unfortunately, game dev is not chill for me. Yeah, it sometimes can't be chill. Thank you everyone for congratulating Anthony. Now try it with a bigger board. Yeah, I'm trying to move to a, well, yeah, maybe I should try it with a bigger board here. Okay, so let's do this. So that's looking good, actually. Let's just do a big player board, I guess. When it clamps, it feels like it should shift up a bit on the y-axis to match the mouse height. Yeah, I think... because the default tooltips, they're like offset down and to the right when you hover on the mouse. But if they're going to be, you know, like generated away from the mouse, then it probably should just be on the same height for sure. So let me do, maybe I can just do that really quick. I think that should be relatively easy. We're going to do off vector 2 offset is equal to... oh, I can't do this, can I? I don't think I can. I think these have to be constants, right? Or maybe not. Ah! Yeah, that doesn't work. Okay. So we'll just make this an vector 2 offset equals null. Send in my card tooltip here. Vector 2.0 for the offset. That should work, I think. I'm trying to make an inventory system by using an ECS approach. He writes the logic for the neighboring cards detection, all that really interesting, even if the logic was already done. I still think it would be interesting for me to do maybe a series of code reviews on this project, because I think there's a lot of interesting things to say about how the grid system works. I think there's a lot of interesting things to say about how the ability system works, how the querying system works. But each of those are like massive topics that could each be their own half-hour or longer episodes, so... Do we like that? Do we like the fact that it avoids the board, or no, do we just prefer it to follow the mouse? What do you guys think? Let me see if I can get to an enemy combat. Oh, wait, I should do this. I feel like it should only be on the right side for the player board and not below or above. Might just be me. Might need to also lock it in so it clamps to a particular side of the container. Gets the user eyes acclimated to a particular side of the box. Well, I mean, the whole point of avoiding this, like, if it just clamps to the right side, then I might as well just keep the tooltip fixed in the middle like I had before, right? But I guess the point of it not obscuring the board but still changing where it appears is like to place it as close as possible to the mouse without obscuring the board. But if we're saying just make it here, then it's like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose of a mouse following tooltip. So I think the options are either go back to the tooltip being fixed here, or have the tooltip follow the mouse always and just have a toggle button for it, like I said. I'm not hearing a downside. What's the cheat code to get a board that size? There's no cheat code. There's no cheat code. All right, let's see what this looks like. The whole item and ability structures are freaking amazing. Would really love to see you explain that logic further. Yeah, that would be cool. Follow mouse 100%. I like avoiding the board, but I think the rules for where it displays should be limited to a particular side. I think it looks a lot better avoiding the board. I like the avoidances, but as Meep said, keep it on the side closest to the center. Yeah, but then like I said, I might as well just have it fixed to the center like I originally had it. In that case. I like it how it is now. Avoidance looks like middle fixed with extra steps. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So if you're saying just show it on the middle of the screen, basically, the only difference then between what I had before and what this would be is that it just follows your mouse when you move up and down. That's like basically the only difference. I mean, when the board is smaller, it will be closer to the board, so that is a point in favor of it too. But I think I don't want to do that. Yeah, there's the inventory too, that's true, yeah. Okay, well, we can try that. I don't think it's going to be too difficult to do that. I'm going to get rid of this so I don't accidentally commit it. Okay, now slightly change the logic. Instead of finding any spot around the avoidance region, use the position that is closest to the center of the screen. Trying to fit it in the middle is fine for the boards. Maybe add a background for the tooltip to see how it feels. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, all right, Adam. All right. How do you set up a new entity? Is it like the sprite in the spaces it will occupy? All that's done in the card definition resource. So if I look at the scythe, for example, so the scythe here, it has dimensions of 2 by 2, but then I mark the excluded cells, and these are the relative excluded cells. So the 1-1 cell within this 2 by 2 bounding box is not present. And based on this configuration, it automatically knows what card background it needs to use, like what card shape it needs to use. But all of that data is defined in the custom resource here. McDonald's today? I don't know. Probably. No, I just went grocery shopping yesterday, so probably not. I just went grocery shopping, so probably not. Although it is very tempting. McDonald's is so good. Sometimes the sizing is not being redone, but that's right. Now, why is that happening? It should ideally stay on the same Y value as the mouse position. Love the probably grocery shopping at McDonald's. McDonald's is not great food, but it fills a certain craving for me. Yeah. So I have I have it every once in a while. I just realized the cards are highlighting what they affect even in the inventory. Is that intentional? Yes. Yeah. Because so the cards will highlight any card on the board that they're currently inside. And the reason is because like it's just easy to see what you have in your inventory that synergizes together. Okay, do we like that now instead? Let's see what it looks like when I go to like a booster here. Oh, I need to change the horizontal size as well. Oh, that's a problem that I didn't think about. The horizontal size is a little bit weird. I like that. Maybe a bit of Y offset, but that's really good. I think... I don't know. I kind of just want to make the tooltip follow the mouse and just have a toggle for whether the tooltip appears on hover or not. I mean, that's okay. That's okay. It looks messy for some reason. Yeah, I don't... Well, it might be because there's no background. We have this normal distribution meme where the middle guy raves about smash burgers and locally sourced produce, and the other guys just love a McDonald's cheeseburger. Yeah. It's me. I'm the one on the... I'm on the one on the far end of the whatchamacallit. My wife says my horizontal size is a problem too. All right, let's do this. I mean, ideally, I would make this a whole panel container here with these little decorations. I actually don't know if that's possible to do with just a panel container. Probably not. Anyway, it should be relatively easy to just test it like this. This will be enough of a test. Obviously, like I said, I got to do a lot of work to make it look nicer, but... And sometimes it's too big. It's not resetting its size properly. But now you can kind of get an idea of that. And I should be able to test this now in this card tooltip here. If I just don't give it an avoidance region. Just get rid of this. So this is what it would look like. I mean, again, it's not perfect, but... So again, if I put the maggot here, you see how it obscures a big portion of the board? But I think... I don't know, I kind of like the tooltip following the mouse better than being on the side of the board. Well, the code is in place, so I can switch between these very easily if I want to. But I think I like it just following the mouse better, and then I want to add like a tooltip visibility toggle button. I might just put some buttons up here, like a settings button and a toggle button. This version looks good to me. Test the booster again. Oops, I went the wrong way. I need a whole tutorial on 9-patch rect. I agree with the tooltip following the mouse, but I think I'm outvoted. Well, no, because this is not a democracy. This is a brutal dictatorship. Now the question is, do I keep the shortened descriptions, or do I put the long descriptions back now? Because really, it doesn't look that bad having a long description in the tooltip. The short descriptions are just going to be a lot of work because I have to create a short variant for every single thing. I do like it. I do like the icons in the description though. I think that's really nice. I know that you are about to end the stream soon, but I wanted to say hi before you do. Welcome, Clickertail. Welcome back. Fall in line or one of those graves will be yours. Yeah. I mean, I don't have very strong feelings either way. I just prefer the avoidance version. You are the god mode lamb chop of decisions on the game. Is true, yeah. So again, the code is in place, so I can go back to the avoidance system. I think what I'm going to do probably this afternoon is I'm going to spend some time making the tooltip look prettier and fix a lot of the bugs that are remaining. I'm going to experiment with doing the short descriptions versus keeping the long descriptions, experiment with the avoidance, and if I make good progress, I'll share that in the Discord and show everybody. But anyway, that's going to be it for the stream. I got to go eat my groceries. And definitely not McDonald's. But if you're interested in the game, you can wishlist Alchemortis on Steam. That would help me out a bunch. And I also, the Discord is linked in the description below. I've got the Patreon and everything like that. So got my Udemy courses available for sale. So if you want to support me in any way, you can just check out the links in the description below. And what else? I think that's it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thanks for all the comments and support and feedback and everything. We're going to get this game feeling good. We're going to get it feeling good. But it's going to take a little bit of work. But anyway, thanks again everyone. Already wishlisted. Thank you. And I hope you all have a great day. I'll be back at it tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern. So I hope to see you there. Okay, bye-bye.